Hello and welcome to another episode of Alan Develops. We're working on Journey to the Center of the Nougat. It's a Spirit of the Century adventure. Let's consider things as we go. They've already met the villain, one way or the other. Without a little complication, need be. All right, higher and higher. So they've reached the second set of ruins, which, unlike the first, has many possibilities. Who knows? One is an archaeologist. That's how you spell archaeologist, which it is not. Archaeologist. Archaeo. Fine. See if I can remember how to spell that the next time. I won't. So, here we go. No one is an archaeologist. Maybe someone knows a guy. Marcus Brody. Too soon. Alright, so anyway. That's a callback to Indiana Jones, obviously. So anyway, we get to have a little fun with the normal tropes there. All right, so more recent, better stonework. The important part is the chocolate processing center. It's at the center of the it's adjacent to the center of the square, near the religious temple. This has all been long looted, but a few trinkets might remain. More importantly, there is a stylized relief, called a relief, stone relief of the processing method. Lots to glean. The local symbolic representation of graves and plants growing from the same. Also, a crude map. This is hidden within the design. The mountains nearby, the river, though the river has changed course. Still, they can triangulate using math. All right. I always like to throw a little math in there. Now, if they don't figure out where the growing place is, then what? Natives arrive. And okay, so I'd either talk, Right. The natives do know a few bits and pieces of other languages. Quite smart. They are on a religious journey. Talk things out. Quite suspicious of outsiders. Many have come. All right. They may agree to take the party in if the party has crossed sabers with the villain, whose name I still do not know. Okay. Fight it. The natives are upset, but wary. They delay so that they can extract their shaman from his spirit journey in the temple. Okay, apparently they have a shaman who's a spirit journey in the temple. These are some of the fun things that you uncover. There is also a religious temple that may or may not hold a shaman who is on a spiritual journey, stoned out of his gourd. Okay. Can't or won't talk. Eyes wide and seeing a universe beyond. He's got some processed chocolate in hand. Okay. Man, do I want to make a call on that? Only if the players cross swords with the villain. The shaman is on the they can science it. No, it's not if the players cross swords with the villain, because if they cross swords with the villain, then the natives are far more amenable. Otherwise, to carry him off, how the players deal with it is a question. The shaman, either way. Away from the ruins. They will talk with the shaman If talking, then he's at a nearby stream. If they fought, he comes to wherever talking is. The religious aspect of the special chocolate. I will have to come up with a fun name for this too. Aztec chocolate. The likes of which Montezuma chugged daily. Not daily. Not the stuff he chugged daily. The good stuff. Oh my. Why don't they grow it in Mexico? They did once. But then conquisted. Alright, so there's a religious aspect to it. The chocolate is get the grow location out. Failing that, figure out the plant needs and use some seeds. This is the heavy science route. Now, do I let them walk away with it? The answer is yes. If they put in the work and they're like, well, you know, I have enough, let's go. It's essentially kind of a refusal of the quest, but it doesn't let them leave the path. Figure out soil pH, rainfall, metal levels, growth cycle from height, bodies involved, local samples, archaeology or geology. Alright, so they get the location out of him. Let's say they don't get the... Let's say they fail here. Failure. They still have... the crude map. Crude map. On the wall, failing that, one of the natives has one. Alternatively, follow them. So we diverge here. If they elect to go, we'll go to the villain confrontation. Okay, so here we go. The growing place. Terraced portion of a mountain hidden from prying eyes. Lots of rare plants. Crude greenhouses. Soil setups. Most of the production is for this special chocolate. Okay, so they've got lots of different plants. This is a Garden of Eden vibe. The natives have some higher tech, though. Bits and pieces. An iron forge. Decent weapons. But they keep them against rusting and ruin from the jungle. Never, rarely allowed. Okay, and then we have the Aztec chocolate. Properties. Boosts stamina, boosts vigor. Not only do you have more wind, can you go longer, but you feel better. What is that called? That's when you have like crystal meth gives you a high. Also reduces male potency. May cause birth issues for women, pregnant women. Processed with chemicals to wash away certain poisons, toxins. Okay, could be improved with a process with chemicals to wash away. Okay. Could also be could reduce risks. Be improved with the same. But not both. And we'll leave it to them to figure out what they want to do. How they want to fix it. Okay. Now, if they've come this far, They'll want a couple of plants in earth. Earth for the trip back to Europe. All right. The find of the century. Lengthens life. Life span and what do they call it? Not just the lifespan, how long you live, but the lifespan and value of years. Could be the find of the century. And here we'll have a split with various people as to whether or not you take it back to Europe. Villain attacks. He's been using the Aztec chocolate to prolong his life. Needs more and more of it. Okay. Takes it via raids. They refuse to trade with him. By that, we mean they wanted fair trade. And he wasn't wealthy enough. Okay, his menagerie is broken native guard himself. A big fight. How do we spice up the big fight? First option. The players are clearly going to be overwhelmed. And need to escape. Time to break out the balloon. See, the time to break out the balloon. Need to delay until it's set up, and then get in. This is via negotiation or other tactics, or a running fight back to the boat. The boat is already under attack by sea critters. Harried all the way. Lots of stamina checks. The physical approach. I'll say this is the cutting approach. That's the intellectual approach. Cut a deal. Do the deceptive approach. Convince him that they will give him what they need. Location of the growing site. Lie or tell the truth. Either way, good as his word, he'll let them go, if convinced. If not, he will fight. All right. So the second option is standard fight. That's with the native allies or not. Awesome creature battles. Use the Aztec chocolate as a booster. With enough of it, you can see the world. Okay. Is there a third option? Is there a third option here? Basically, it's flee or fight. Although with flee, you can also use to. You just want to get away. There's another method, the third option. Give over poisonous, refined Aztec chocolate. Convince the native guard to turn on him. Something involving the critters and pheromones. Yes, this is kind of the science option. Okay. Either way, we have a culmination followed by the aftermath. Did they secure enough samples to grow the Aztec chocolate? Do they want to release this upon Europe? Morals and weights. Did they help the natives out? Did the natives survive? They survived modernity. What of their hirelings? Where do they stand morally? Talk and consider where the story might leave them in a year. Okay. And that's the bit of that Next up is character outlining, and we'll get to that another time. I'm just going to lay out the various aspects and maybe a few stunts. I will probably give the player enough on a player aids sheet to be like, you could put them in here and they will do certain things, and you know, they get to choose what happens or where they go from there. They will choose like what their primary stat is. They will choose what their some of their stunts and some of their aspects. From a limited selection, if they can come up with something more great, they can do that. But they will have some method of shaping their characters, and I will do the rest. It's because I don't want to spend 2 hours coming up with characters and then throw it together and go. This is meant to be a short, limited session and fun. This is focused on the fun rather than the character building. If there's one thing I know about playing this, especially at conventions, is that people come there for the good stuff. It's not like, well, you're going to arrive and you're going to make a character and then you're going to play it. Because then, character creation could take, a while for some people. And it's just not what you want to have happen at a convention. And this is going to be for friends, but who knows, I may do it at Gen Con if there's going to be a Gen Con this year. We'll see. All right, but I hope you've enjoyed this. Stay safe and take care out there, all right? Thanks.